How you doing on this fine evening, folks? Listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about something very important. And actually, before I get into anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Arturo Del Rio, founder of Dream Build Live, partner in ecotech.net, and of course, flightplan.us, where all we do is one thing, man. We help you launch your dream business and change your life, or we help you grow the hell out of your existing business, and I mean money. Not bullshit followers, money. Anyway, let's get into the point of this video. So I wanted to talk to you about something I see all the time. All right, it's a classic, business mistake, a classic salesperson mistake. We've been bred and trained since day one, since kindergarten, to say yes, yes, yes. Customer wants something. How high do I need to jump, sir? Oh, I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Just send me some white papers. Call me in a couple weeks. Sound familiar? How many of you out there, now, you're behind the camera, right? So it's okay. Raise your hand if you have said yes. Raise your hand if when somebody pushes back on your price, your first thing is, well, you know what? Let me go back and talk to my manager. Let me go see what I can do about that. Let me see if I can't shave a few more points off. And I bet you didn't ask for anything, even that. Because, hey, sometimes you got to come down on price. I get it. Sometimes it happens. In a real competitive deal, I get it. It happens. But what are you getting in return? You're just giving. It's terrible, right? So I want to talk to you about the power of pushing back. The power of no. That's right. You heard it right. The power of saying no to a prospect, or frankly, even an existing client. Sometimes the answer needs to be no, but no with reason. And I'm going to explain this. If you truly want to be credible, now, again, this is something that I've used in enterprise sales. You're selling to small to medium businesses, business to business kind of sales. But this does not preclude the fact that this also remains true for things as simple, as perhaps, a car sale, or door-to-door sales, or speaking to consumers and not necessarily businesses. So use this thing that was on top of your head, and I want you to tweak it. Think about what you're doing. Think about the approach and apply this to whatever you do, and I assure you we can do it. And obviously, if you look down below right here, you can see there's a link there. Obviously, as always, the first hit is always free, right? So, set up your consultation. Again, it could pick one of the closures clinics, the born business formulation clinic, the mindset clinic, whatever it is. Let us know, shoot us a note, give us a call, whatever. We'll get you rocking. Don't worry. So this is the key. Learning how to push back in a strategic manner is important. And in fact, it lends to your credibility. Being able to stand up and say no. When a customer asks for something, your immediate response, now again, if you sell one product and one solution, I got it. I don't need 50 comments about it. I got you. But, when you're selling anything with complexity or anything with a lot of options, frankly, remember something. Most of the time, of course, the customers, or the prospects believe they're experts because they went on Google for 30 minutes and they read everything there was to learn. So now they think they know it all. That's not true. You're the expert. Say no and explain why. I'll give you a perfect example. In my time working with an organization that specializes in all kinds of things, but in particular, they do wonderful work from a disaster recovery standpoint. I can't tell you how many clients reached out and tell me the solution that they already picked. And they didn't do all kinds of things, right? They didn't think about, should we tier out the recover the servers that run this workload in this way, because it's very expensive, but that workload is very important. And then maybe these other applications that you're going to be fine if they're down 3-4 days. Well, guess what? Had I not asked those strategic questions and said, listen, no, unfortunately, that's not how we operate. What I do is solve problems. And if I don't understand your problem at its core, understand the nature of the true desired outcomes, the objectives, both technically and from a business perspective, I can't help you. Well, we're not interested in any of that. All I want you to do is send me a quote for this. There's one answer to that. No. No, I'm not sending you a quote. No, I'm not going to send you white papers. In fact, I'm not even going to talk to you if you're unwilling to talk to me. And learn this, folks. Learn this. Get this in your head. If someone will not speak to you, guess what? It must not be that important. Or, more likely, they've already actually made a choice. They're asking for your quote to get that 3 quotes on that spreadsheet, baby, and drop the price on the one they selected. End of story. So you got to learn to lose fast, because there's those situations and those scenarios where I know it, and I've seen people spin cycles on this for quite literally years. Prospects says, oh, I'm kind of interested in this, and they'll talk to them, and they keep following up and keep going and keep talking, and let's see, and I don't know, and yes, I know, there was that one time in 2009 that, you followed up after 3 years and they made a purchase. Great. How many other prospects could you have reached out to that would have bought sooner? How much time was spent? How much time was wasted? Again, if it's the enemy of efficiency, it's the enemy of time, which is therefore the enemy of your wallet. So learn how to lose fast on those deals. Now, what I've learned over time too, and this is also important, and I guess I think more on that business side for those business owners out there. When you're going through this process, those difficult customers up front don't get better. And this is most important for small businesses, small to medium businesses. That customer is going to be a draw on your resources forever. Now, I'll tell you personally, we're extremely picky. We're extremely picky with who we work with, because the truth is, I can't make you successful. This is a mutual investment between my monsters and you, because obviously we're your army, we're your backup. But the reality is, if you won't execute, I can't make you succeed. And this is the same thing for your prospects and your customers out there. You have to realize that it's not worth every one of them. You don't want them all. And again, that all starts with pushing back. The true buyer out there, the serious buyer, will respect that. The serious buyer will note the fact that you're consultative, that you're lending value. You're not a quote jockey. All right, one of my favorite people ever calls it chasing the frisbee. Here's a salesperson, go get it. Stop it. Learn to say no. Now, you don't have to hammer people, right? Now, you could be a little intense like I am sometimes about it, but the reality is, the truth is you'll gain more respect that way. And I'll tell you something else in this process. You're going to come to find out that the more serious people will take that call. The more serious people will have that conversation. They will appreciate you asking strategic questions. And remember, don't ask a question once in this process. So when you push back and you want to get to the root, the true root of the business problem and the business objectives, the desired outcomes, okay? You're not getting there in one sentence. Learn to ask the right open-ended questions. And repeat the same question. I know this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound redundant. But I actually repeat each question 3 times in 3 different ways. And I have come to find over time that I always get more information. Now, in this process, what you're inevitably doing is crafting an image in your customer, your prospects, and hopefully, like me, I don't like customers, I like fans, in your fans' mind, where you're crafting and creating clarity. You want to be the person that they speak to, and every time they talk to you, you've asked them some questions that have actually clarified and opened up the vision of what they want to do for themselves. That's value. That's power. And you don't get that. You will never get that by simply saying, yes, let me send you that white paper. Yes. Let me just quote that out for you. Yes. Let me give you line item pricings because you said so. Sure. Oh, you want that kind of solution? Oh, of course. I'll sell that to you right now. That's not strategic. That's not partnering. Okay? That's not being consultative. That's not being a pro. A pro knows one thing. You can't solve problems you don't understand. And that's true for all of them. Now, no matter who it is and what's being bought, okay? That's the key. Find out why. And find out why it's important. Find out what happens if they do not act, if they remain status quo. Because by the way, I don't know if you knew this, people, 60% of deals actually go to no decision. They remain status quo. People think the competition is their enemy. No. No. Status quo is your enemy. So first you got to convince people to buy. And you're never going to do that by sending white papers. You're never going to do that by being a quote jockey. You're only going to achieve that by being strategic, by asking those core questions, by getting to the core root of the problem, the core root, of the issues, what the true desired outcomes are, from a business perspective, from a technical perspective. If you're selling to a consumer for their own motivation, for what they really want, what's the reason? Why? Why is it so important? What happens if you don't do it? Things like that. And you got to think about it. And remember, each of these questions and all these things have to be tailored both to your industry, but more importantly to the industry of your customer. Understanding the nature of their business, understanding, the trends in that industry, understanding what the gaps probably are before you even speak to them. Now, I can't give it all away because I still got to have something to sell you guys later, right? So I can't give it all. But listen, let's start with this. So remember, there is true power. No, there is true power in pushing back strategically and following it up with the reasons why and getting to the core root of a problem, understanding the true nature of that desired outcome and the impact of not acting. Those are just three basic things that if you don't understand that, and of course, the budget and the when. But if you don't understand those things, you don't have a deal. Know that in your heart. So stop. So I know some of you out there right now are thinking about that deal. Yeah, sorry, bud. Probably gone. All right? Or try to follow up and save it tomorrow with some good questions. Anyway, so listen, folks, when you're ready either to launch your dream business or, when you're ready to really just grow the hell out of yours, if you want to improve those sales, you want to get that mind right, you want to brainstorm or you want to join one of our mastermind groups, one of our idea teams where we talk, we go through things, and together we come up with something magical. Give us a call. Look down below here. Check us out, of course, at iamdbl.com. At Instagram at iamdreambuildlive. Check us out at ecotech.net. And of course, for your flight plan, soup to nuts flight plan to get that thing rolling, go to flightplan.us. So listen, get out there and crush it and learn to push back when it makes sense. Do not be that frisbee chaser. Be strategic and learn how to be a closer. Bring value every time. So set up your free consultation now. Claim that, baby. It ain't going to last for long. You guys have a great night. And I hope you crush it as always. Dream, build, live. Bye.